So hey, this is Robin Wouters. I'm here in Tel Aviv, Israel for DLD conference, visiting the offices of Aleph, which is a relatively new venture fund. Can you quickly introduce yourself?
Sure. Ed and Shochat. I'm an equal partner at Aleph. It's kind of a strange title because it's a two-person firm. Used to be an entrepreneur, moved over to the dark side. Last things I did is Phase.com and Eternity. And now building Aleph. Aleph is yet another startup. It just happens to be very well funded.
Right. How well funded are you? How big is the fund?
Fund is is the largest to have been raised in Israel first-time fund in the last 20 years. It's a $154 million fund.
That's a lot of money. Do you typically invest in seed, Series A, later stage, or all of it?
So no, we're very focused, laser focused on A-round deals. Right, Israel, strangely enough, right, it's turning from a startup nation to scale-up nation, and funding in A is fairly scarce. So seed, a lot of investors, Anonymity, Lul, Glilot, great investors, and we collaborate with them. So we're laser focused on A rounds.
Right. Israel has seen a handful of very good exits lately. There's on the consumer side, Waze and Wix, the IPO, but also on the more enterprise side, Mobileye, the IPO, etc. So do you see that trend continuing in the following months and the next year?
No, absolutely. So it's not a handful, right? If you look at the numbers, New York celebrated Tumblr, right, the first $1 billion exit, and at that same time, you can count any number of Israeli exit. Trustir, right, on the enterprise space, Wix doing an IPO, a significant IPO. So it's not only going to continue, it's actually going to accelerate what we're seeing now. There are a lot of companies now in building stage, right, Seeking Alpha, Fiverr. There are very good companies that are being built, and the entrepreneurs of the previous exits are now pushing money into the ecosystem, what you didn't see a lot before. The usual Jewish boy after an exit listened to his mother and kept the money in the bank. And
right.
What's going on right now is people are writing checks. The Waze guys are writing checks, the Wix guys are writing checks.
Very interesting. You meet a lot of startups at a very early stage because you do this Series A round only. What are some of the trends you're seeing in the entrepreneurs that you meet these days in Israel?
First, going big, right? So if there's a mega trend, is that they actually want to build companies that transform big industries. So Israel historically, if you look, has been kind of a mid-of-funnel kind of a business. So a lot of ad tech, right? And ad tech, the major issue, or payment, white label payments, the major issue there is that if you need to be replaced, there is a margin erosion, there is a race to the bottom, where you can't build big companies. It's fairly rare to build big companies in that field. And Israelis are moving to top-of-funnel businesses, right? Waze own the customers, right? Viber own the customers. Wix own the customers, right? And that's the biggest trend in kind of the horizontal side. On the verticals, you see a lot of Bitcoin startups, you see a lot of wearables, you see a lot of companies building startups that depend on data. Israel has historically been very good at turning data into information.
Right. So these are all the positives. Anything negative to say about the Israeli startup scene today?
I think there's still the signal to noise ratio, and it's common to the entire world, but you still see the kind of TechCrunch startups or Tech.eu startups, meaning people that read about a cool concept and then go and build that. I think that's wrong. I think that you still have entrepreneurs that are trying to build the wrong things out of Israel. There are things that are very good to build out of Israel. There are things that shouldn't be built out of Israel, and that's fine. But people shouldn't fall into that trap.
Awesome. Eden, thank you very much for your time.
No, thank you. Welcome to Israel.
Thank you.